I'm Jessica Ann Bogart for Audio Story Time. Today's story is an odd mix of fan fiction and faux fiction, which is the opposite of fan fiction. The subject of this tug-of-war is Star Wars.
Welcome to
Audio
Story.
May the Force be clobbered!
Hello? I am Rabadash, your narrator for this section of Cringe. I'll be making some comments throughout it because it is just that bad. The battle of wills remains the same. Pro Anakin Vader, Star Wars nut. Can't stand Anakin Vader, Ocean. Part 6. Mission Farce. At the request of Ben and Yoda, Ocean Elf reluctantly returned to the training area. She found that weird facsimile of an Emperor Palpatine still there, looking as if he had no purpose.
Why do you hate me so much? I'm only trying to help you.
Stop it. I don't need your help. In fact, I don't need this lightsaber crap.
If no one had been there, she might have taken a lightsaber and practiced some moves just to humour those poor SNL Star Wars characters. But she was in no mood to be watched or talked to by a freakish palpadroid. So she left without another word. But he followed her.
Buzz off, bozo!
Is that any way to react to a compliment from an emperor?
Your compliments don't count.
She turned and got behind him so she could take hold of his wheelchair. She roughly manoeuvred him out of the training area. It was a jerky, bumpy ride at a running or jogging pace. He kept protesting for the elf to slow down. She refused and just kept jarring him along.
Ah! Slow down! Slow down! Ah! I've heard tell that you are an elf of some sort.
What's that got to do with anything? I ought to take you apart and see what kind of spy gear you got in there.
What? My dear elf, what a ghastly idea.
No more ghastly than any ideas Palpatine has come up with. You could only come by this information by eavesdropping. Droids can be programmed to do those kinds of things.
It's nothing like that, Miss Elf. I'm just trying to make conversation.
Well, don't!
Unable to get her to talk about herself, a classic means used to get people divulging all kinds of information. Sidious tried something else.
You may not realize what you're letting yourself in for. The Jedi are not innocent, and certainly my ex-apprentice Darth Vader isn't.
Don't try that crap with me. As far as I'm concerned, Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, whatever the heck he wants to call himself, is just as guilty as you. I do not count him as part of the Jedi. Not that I care much for Jedi anyway. I didn't want to be here. Everyone needs to get it through their thick heads that I am not working for Darth Vader!
Elf, please. Whatever they may have told you about me is only half true.
And you think they told me things about you because? No, I found out things myself.
It just breaks my heart seeing a lonesome elf like you being taken advantage of like that.
Spare me the fake sympathy, insidious palpatrash. You don't have a heart.
Insidious! How dare you, you stupid elf!
Ha! That didn't take you long to forget your own game. I wouldn't take that lie from you or the real Palpatine or Darth Vader for that matter.
Real? Are you saying I'm not real?
By George, I think he's got it. Well, now that you figured that out, I'm just going to leave you here since nobody's been giving me any instructions as to what to do with you. I'll let them deal with you instead.
Well done.
A voice boomed from somewhere above her.
What the heck?
Elf looked up and saw Ben balancing precariously on the balcony railing.
Gosh, that must be one heck of a long balcony. Elf wheeled the palpadroid away from that thing, and still the Star Wars nutter wanted to keep the plot stuck on the balcony. Nope. Let's rewrite.
Well done.
Ben came up to her and put a hand on her shoulder. She flinched and stepped away.
I haven't done anything yet.
Figure that this was a droid. It is a prototype. I designed him for newcomers to train with. The real thing is much more powerful.
You have just wasted your time, sir. I didn't come here to train. I never consented to training. I'm supposed to be here on an actual mission, like destroying Palpatine, not playing with a little toy Palpatine bot. I'm out of here.
Well done on your comebacks, by the way.
Elf scowled at Luke.
Oh, so you were listening in too, huh? Well, you know what? I don't need your approval for anything.
She turned and tried to walk off, but Ben held her back. This time she put up a struggle to get away.
I have a confession to make. I followed you and him.
I warned you, Luke. No putting me to the test.
Sorry, Elf.
Knock it off!
She managed to get free of Ben at last, but Luke got in front of her, trying to block her escape.
Luke, Elf, I'm sorry to report this, but he is again being scrubbed. He needs this to quit.
First it was scrubbed once a month. Now it's every 2 days. What is your game, sir?
And I should inform you, that's no droid. That's the real thing.
Make up your minds, will you?
He's just got metal plates all over him from the years of suffering he's endured.
I'm not interested in your sob stories. I told you that. Look, this is hokey and contrived as it gets. What are the odds of the real Emperor, if he actually still exists, showing up like some vagrant? Come on. I'm not here to play Star Wars SNL. If this is the real McCoy and you want me to wave him out, just say so. Or if you want me to take him back to Mission HQ to have them deal with him, let me know. Or if you want to deal with him yourself, you don't need me, all right? Because I'm going to be out of here tomorrow. I'm not coming back.
So that's why you didn't all out try to kill him yet? You thought he was a piece of training equipment and you wanted us to be the ones to end him.
Wow, you sure catch on quick.
We already have confronted him. He's made many unwelcome visits, and we have all said everything to him that we've needed to say. Now he is all yours.
Are you quite sure?
Do what needs to be done, Elf, with our blessing, and may the Force be with you.
What took you so long to give me the go-ahead finally? Okay, droid or not, I'm getting this over with.
Elf, wait!
Let me guess, you changed your mind again.
No, I just wanted to tell you something.
Something else about Palpatine?
No.
She said nothing more and hurried away without looking back.
Elf, about the Force.
It can wait a little longer, Luke. We will tell her when it's over.
Where's she going with him?
Elf wheeled the Palpa droid even further away, looking back until she could no longer see Luke or Ben. She did not answer Palpatine droid's questions asking where she was taking him. Finally, when she was sure they were alone, the elf brought the chair to a violent jerking halt, and suddenly unceremoniously shoved it, tipping it over on its side.
How dare you! I never did anything to you, Elf. I'll make flambe out of you instead.
Palpatine put out a hand, aiming to shoot a lightning bolt at her. As soon as she saw his hand begin to raise, Elf reacted quickly, dousing him and his effort with a wave, and another for good measure. The waves worked to obliterate Insidious, or at least this version of him. When even the wheelchair had been vaporized, the elf made her way back to the compound. Luke, Leia, Yoda, and Ben met her as she was on the way to her room.
That's one down. I don't know if there are any other clones out there or not.
We have news for you too, Ocean. The blood sample you gave revealed the Force is strong with you.
Yeah, right.
It is true. Your midichlorian count is sky high. When I mean you have the Force, I mean you in fact have the Force, my dear elf.
Elf only shrugged and began to walk away.
She doesn't believe you,
Leia said to them, and she went on her way as well. I narrated this next part all the way through much earlier, so we're just going to use that instead of having everyone else chime in. It's mostly a dialogue between two characters anyway. When that version of Palpatine was destroyed, Ben found Elf and approached her. Congratulations, Ocean Elf, for finally destroying this menace. The elf shrugged. Thanks. But let's just hope it's the last of him. I'm aware he's no stranger to cheating death. Well, now that you have done this, I think Anakin should be told the good news. The elf's expression suddenly turned livid. If you want him to know, you can tell him yourself. I didn't do it for him.
I would, but I have to notify a lot of other people and need Luke's and Leia's help with that, Ben said.
I am most apologetic, Ocean Elf. I did not mean for you to feel this way, said Ben as he walked with her down the hall, hoping she wouldn't just take off in the other direction.
If you want me to say one word to him about what went down tonight, here are the conditions, sir.
she said icily. "This is the very last time you will try to force me to do anything, especially involving him or on his behalf. I will tolerate no further dealings with him. After this, he needs to forget I even exist. That would be in everyone's best interest."
Yes, but Ocean... Ben didn't get the chance to finish what he was about to say. The elf stormed off without so much as a backward glance. There was a knock at Anakin's door, followed by a frosty, "It's Miss Elf," with a message from Mr. Kenobi. "Do come in, Elf," he replied. The elf entered. Her annoyed expression changed to confusion when she actually saw him. His respiration mask was gone, his face was pink with new skin, but his arms and legs were covered by nightclothes and a Jedi robe over those. Yuck! Vader's #1 fan sure loved going on and on about his appearance. If she thought of the idea that there was a hole in one of his socks, that would be worth noting too. If she and her crush thought they were going to amaze and impress Ocean, they were mistaken. "I see you apparently know that Palpatine 2.0 version 666 zillion has been deep-sixed. I'll leave you to the rest of your healing." Ocean turned to leave. Naturally, Vader protested. "Ocean, wait, please!" The elf sighed and turned back around, scowling. "I don't have all night," she snapped. "I'm glad he is dead," Anakin said, his voice no longer covered by a respiration mask. "All that is left of my injuries," he said, "are my cybernetic limbs." To prove this, he presented his right hand to Elf. "You can shake my hand now." "No, thank you," she said quickly and firmly, and backed away. He tried again to appeal to her. "You don't have to be afraid." She rolled her eyes, apparently annoyed or insulted. "I am not," she said sternly. "I only came to give you the message at Ben's request, an unnecessary one. Now it's time to go." "Elf, please wait," he said desperately. "Now that my suit is gone, I am scared to walk." The elf heaved a very audible sigh of impatience and began twiddling her thumbs. Anakin tried once more to evoke even a scrap of sympathy from her. "I only wish I did not have to undergo any more scrubbing." "Don't start that with me again," she said with a scowl. "No more suit, no more mask, no more facial scars. If you're suddenly this well off, you do not require that procedure and shouldn't have in a very long time. I'm out of here." "Ocean," he said, "now that you have healed me, it is time to find a new emperor. One that is kind and will allow skin grafts when needed." "I did not heal you. I only destroyed some supposed version of Palpatine," said the elf. "The rest is up to you." She turned to leave, but he spoke again. "Hopefully this emperor can find some healthy skin on my body with which to do the grafts. You just said the only injuries you have are your cybernetic limbs, and your face looks as new as a baby's," Elf replied, glancing back over her shoulder to address him. "Anything else you need is up to someone in the medical field, not the new emperor or me." She tried to leave again. "The necrosis itches terribly," he said. "No, you're healing, or maybe already healed. That itches. Evidently all it took was a recycled form of Mr. Insidious biting the dust," said Elf. She turned to hurry away. He called after her, trying a different topic of conversation that surely she would be willing to talk about. "Wait! Did you find out the results of your test?" She huffed and glanced sharply back. "What test?" "Do you have the Force?" Elf whirled around to face him with an expression of shock and disapproval. "How would you even know about any test I might have had?" Her tone of voice raised in stern suspicion.
"My hearing," Anakin said with a kind smile, "is very acute, little one. I hear everything that goes on."
Back up! That so-called kind smile was written in as some sort of wish fulfillment and an attempt to make the readers believe Anakin Vader is kind. Fail! This is a character who tortured and murdered a gazillion people, and he clearly has Ocean in his sights. It could be an infatuation or insidious agenda he wants her for, but that smile is not actually kind. The elf made a squirming motion and grimaced. "Well, isn't that cool for you? Man, I like that!" she exclaimed sarcastically. "Nobody can keep a secret from you. Heck, you can probably hear everyone eat, drink, hiccup, and go to the can from anywhere in this building." This time he realized he had creeped her out beyond repair. So all he could do was try changing the subject. "I'm glad I am healing, but the healing process itches," he finally said. More jawing on and on about his itchies and owies. boy, was the fangirl fixated on that crap.
Now that we've established that loud and clear, bye, Ocean ranted.
Ocean, wait, Anakin Vader called. See if you can go find a medical droid so that they may see if there are skins on my body that can be used to graft, he directed.
Ocean heaved an annoyed sigh. Skins on my body, skins on my body? Oh, blah. I told you this skin graft stuff is moot since you have supposedly healed yourself.
Supposedly? He shrilled indignantly.
Yeah? Who's to say what was really under that suit of yours? The elf accused. You've toyed with me far too long, and it stops now.
Will you at least help us find a kindly emperor? He said, trying to change the subject again.
At the end of her patience, the elf huffed. Get a droid! Get a new emperor! Do this! Do that! We've been through all that! She ranted, showing her displeasure at feeling bossed around. I don't know the first thing about how to get you a new emperor, and that is not up to me!
She tried once again to leave.
Wait! Anakin called her back again. Freaking what? She shouted angrily.
I can't help it if my hearing is acute. The building is so large, and the ceiling is so high that sounds literally carries.
To this, Ocean replied tersely, You can't help this, you can't help that. Well, I can't help being weirded out by your supersonic eavesdropping capability and hating everything else about you. So we're even.
Anakin bristled and scowled, but tried another subject change. Didn't you say something about helping us to find an old shaman?
You're the one who said it. I don't even believe in that shamanism stuff.
Now you've healed yourself, you don't need him anyway, Elf said abruptly.
Can you at least help us look for an emperor? Luke asked, approaching Anakin but looking imploringly at the elf.
Oh, great. Now Luke just suddenly shows up.
Elf threw her hands up in the air. She looked about to blow her top. If I've said it once, she raised her voice. I've said it 100 times. No, I cannot, for crying out loud. I don't know anybody out here, so haven't the foggiest freaking idea where or how to start with that, understand? She fumed. I'm done. I'm going back home as soon as my stuff is packed, and His Highness wants a medical droid, or 2 or 3 or 20. You might want to take care of that before he works himself up into a stroke.
With that, the elf turned to storm out. Luke gaped in horror. First, the elf's dislike of Anakin was strong enough to be unnerving. Second, Anakin was definitely capable of retaliation, and if that didn't come sooner, it was likely to come later. Once again, the Star Wars fangirl gets some sudden random character to just show up out of the blue.
A well-dressed older man stood in the doorway, blocking the exit.
Who are you? Elf made way, but looked warily at him. My first name, he said, is the same as my predecessor, but my middle and last name are completely different. I am your new emperor, Sheev Alderaan. Utterly baffled at how this was all happening, Elf said to him,
Pleased to meet you, sir. I am just called Elf.
Turning back to scowl at Anakin and Luke, she sneered, Well, I guess that settles it then. All problems solved just like that. What Anakin wants, Anakin gets. It is nice to make your acquaintance, Miss Elf, said the new emperor. She looked apologetically back at Sheev. Thank you. I'll leave you to get down to business, she replied. You're not going already? Luke protested. The elf looked at him. I've been here far too long as it is. Can we at least keep in touch? Luke asked. If you like, the elf replied coolly. I'll leave my business card for you on the dresser in the room where I was staying. We will be, Anakin added. The elf turned to look coldly at him. That offer is not open to you, sir! Good night! I could mind choke you for refusing me, Anakin Vader bluffed. Try that, and you'll go the way of that form of Palpatine! You've done a bunch of unspeakable stuff, and don't give me this Sidious made me do it crap. Then you kidnapped me, thinking you might get me feeling too sorry for you to remember all that stuff, so I just run circles around you like everybody else does here. Well, it won't work.
Ocean, Anakin called after her. Have a nice life.
She called back coolly and hurried away without a backward glance. Anakin sighed, hearing her quick, decisive steps echoing down the hall. More blue-eyed cringe from the Vader nut.
My goodness, Sheev said, feeling overcome by Anakin's pure blue-eyed stare. It looks as though you have healed well. I will also ban those laws made by my predecessor and put new ones in place. I saw a little of the annihilation of my predecessor, and I would like to thank the elf that helped you achieve it, Anakin, and congratulate you on healing so quickly.
The Anakin Vader fangirl had this new Emperor Sheev Alderaan tell the friend of Ocean something quite different in a roleplay message. He made it sound as if there had been no healing, that Anakin Vader was still in that suit, and he really lay it on thick with the attempted sympathy grab.
Hi, good morning. My name is Sheev Alderaan. I am the Emperor of a galaxy far, far away. I first met Anakin when I was at the medical center doing something else, because sometimes I help the medical droids with things that they need help with. When I first met Anakin, they told me about the suit that he was in, and I said, no, this has to be taken care of. He cannot stay in that black suit forever. We've got to change the color of his suit to let people know that he is redeemed. He is no longer Darth Vader. Plus, we're going to update the suit by removing all torture devices, and we're actually going to destroy the black suit. Because not only was the suit a life support system, but it was also a torture device as well. You know how you answer nature's call? Well, as punishment, Anakin's excrement was recycled back into his body. And it was very painful. It hurt really bad for him. And there were other ways that Palpatine would punish Anakin as well if he was not pleased with him. And it was just heartbreaking because Anakin literally took me through everything. And I was like, no, we cannot have that. We need to let the galaxy know that you, Anakin Skywalker, are redeemed and are no longer a Sith. While Anakin did a lot of terrible deeds on the dark side, on his breastplate, written in a different language, is, his deeds shall not be forgiven until he merits. So he actually redeemed himself by saving his son, Luke. And when he saved Luke, Darth Vader was destroyed and Anakin Skywalker was brought back. And I don't know why, but I can forgive the deeds that Anakin Skywalker had done because that's just how I am. And Anakin is doing quite well. If you want to know more about the suit, or if you want to hear the sound of his respirator by itself, let us know, and we can do that for you.
This new Emperor deliberately forgot to tell Ocean's friend that Anakin Vader was healed, no more mask and suit, with brand new skin, and dressed in a Jedi robe. The fangirl couldn't get Ocean to comply with her Vader Sidious suit obsession, so she blew up Ocean's friend's phone with that awful rubbish. And if you thought her crazy Anakin Vader was out of tricks, well, no. Vader and his #1 fan came up with a doozy in the next section. Yes, that's why the child was suddenly plunked into the story.